Oh, hey, everybody. It's Scott Luton and Mary Kate Love here on National Supply Chain Day. Y'all caught me checking my email right before we go live. Mary Kate, you ever get caught with your hand in the cookie jar like that?
Yes, but not today. Today it was finally you and not me.
Oh, man. Well, hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. It's Scott Luton and your friend Mary Kate Love with you here on Supply Chain Now. Welcome to today's special live stream as, of course, we celebrate National Supply Chain Day. Mary Kate, really big day today, huh?
Big day. We've been looking forward to this day for a while because we're kind of bringing back National Supply Chain Day. We celebrated together in 2020, which was a crazy year, April 2020 when we
Right.
celebrated. But today is really going to be a fun show because we're taking a step back and we're really celebrating the people of supply chain, right? So we're going to see some snapshots of teams across the country. We're going to have Enrique Alvarez from Vector Global Logistics join us, who's always great, has great perspective. And then we'll even talk about some trends in the industry and what's in the future for supply chain. So this will be a fun show with lots of banter back and forth.
It sure will, folks. And watch out because we're just getting started with taking National Supply Chain Day and celebrating this global industry that it is to all new heights. I'm really excited about what Mary Kate Love and the whole team is doing here. By the way, Enrique Alvarez is almost as cool as the John Wayne of global supply chain, the one and only Jake Bard. Jake, great to have you here. Looking forward to your comments as well. All right, so folks, let's do this. Two quick reminders. First off, Scott, remember when you go live, right? Don't depend on the music. That's not a dependable signal. But kidding aside, let us know what you think. Share your comments throughout this live discussion. And of course, if you enjoyed today's show, we're really celebrating our industry, folks, and all the wonderful people. Be sure to share it with a friend or your network. Okay, so I want to get to work. I want to start with a little bit about our purpose and vision collectively, Mary Kate, us and the whole team here,
Yep.
including what is our why. So this is easy for us, I think. National Supply Chain Day. Well, it's a celebration, a real celebration, and a big old spotlight on the industry professionals of supply chain, the people that connect the world and make it happen. From Mary Kate, you and I have talked a lot about this. From the folks that drive all the intricate and complex logistics that allow you to drink your morning coffee every day, to the high-flying networks that ensure critical medical supplies reach their destinations. We're all consumers there, right? To the supply chain professionals that are driving trucks, driving forklifts, picking and packing, planning, you name it, leading, doing, making it all happen, right? These folks are the backbones of our connected world. So up front, folks, as we mentioned a second ago, join us every single year, April 29th, as we delve into the stories, the breakthroughs, the technologies, the topics, the people of global supply chain. And folks, you can learn more at supplychainnow.com/NSCD. And we're going to drop that link to the chat, so you're one click away from learning more. And stay tuned because that will be updated regularly. Mary Kate, what I get wrong, and more importantly, you founded, as you mentioned, this day of celebration a couple of years back. Why don't you share your vision with the audience?
Yeah, so when I think about this day, I can't not mention National Manufacturing Day because I was personally inspired by National Manufacturing Day, which is in October. I believe it's October 4th every year. And what National Manufacturing Day set out to do was really highlight manufacturing and the careers in manufacturing. And that's really similar to what we want to do with National Supply Chain Day. We have this vision that, hey, if we celebrate the people of supply chain, that will allow people early in their career, maybe students, to say, hey, supply chain's got really cool jobs, really cool projects that people work on. Maybe I should choose that industry. Maybe I should get connected with someone in supply chain, and really kind of bringing that all together and getting people excited about supply chain and talking about supply chain, we feel will help the future of supply chain.
Yes, well said, Mary Kate. I'll tell you, I admire your vision and your leadership and your action-oriented leadership by the truckload. Let's say hello to a few folks. We mentioned Jake Barr. We got Larry Klein, tuned in from down in South Georgia. Great to see you, Larry. Gwen Du from Vietnam via LinkedIn. Great to see you here today. We have Niles back with us from Paris, Texas. Niles was with us the other day. Adrian Betts from the ATL, making things happen across warehouses. Tyrone Thorpe, old Tyrone, holding down the fort for us on LinkedIn. Happy Supply Chain Management Day. Well done and long overdue. Bring on the nourishment. I love that, Tyrone. Jeremy Robinson, also in Atlanta here, and says Happy Supply Chain Day on behalf of all the care operations
Cool.
around the world. How about that, Mary Kate?
Yeah, I love that organization.
ASCM, the El Paso Juarez chapter. Great to see you here today. And we try to rock, folks. Mary Kate is a rock and roll star here today. I'm her agent, maybe. I don't know, but we got a great show teed up here today. Let's see where we're going next here. I want to move in. We've got a wonderful guest coming up, Mary Kate, a dear friend, a distinguished global supply chain leader, and a very special guest. I want to welcome in Enrique Alvarez, co-founder and managing director with Vector Global Logistics. Hey, Enrique, how you doing?
Hey guys, how are you doing? And happy Supply Chain Day. This is amazing.
Yay. Yes.
It is. Happy Supply Chain Day, Enrique and Mary Kate. And, Enrique, before I even get back and thank you and the whole Vector team, I think a lot of folks see Derek all about the coffee. So cheers you, Derek, and cheers all those folks that create and power the coffee supply chain. Vaughn tuned in from Mexico, Elsie from Kenya, Maya from the University of Kansas.
Wow.
Go Jayhawks. Pat Plonsky, stay tuned, Pat. We're gonna get to Brooks for Africa momentarily. Happy Supply Chain Day, he says, from the Books for Africa team. So Enrique and Mary Kate. Enrique, I want to start with you on this day of celebration for our industry. Really appreciate your big time support of National Supply Chain Day and a lot of things we're doing here. Why is it important to you and the Vector team to support this special day, all these wonderful people, and the greater supply chain industry? Your thoughts, Enrique?
Well, it's massively important to us, and I think for everyone that shares this industry. For one, some of all the supply chain now professionals out there working with in this industry is a very intense job. So we sometimes spend more time with the people we work with than with our own family. So this is like a huge family for us, and from all over the world. And so kind of having the celebration, one day of celebrating this kind of partnership, friendship, and sometimes even that family connections is important. And then on the other hand, everything we use and have has a logistics component to it, right? Everything has a supply chain component. And so it's critical that we celebrate and have one day dedicated fully to this amazing industry.
Well said, Enrique. And Mary Kate, I know we all do appreciate Enrique's leadership, the whole team, Nuria, Christy, the massive rock and roll team over at Vector Global Logistics, huh?
Yeah, we love your team. And actually, Enrique, for the people tuning in, can you tell us a little bit about what you all do over there at Vector Global Logistics? And also don't forget to say how people can connect with you too.
Oh, of course. And well, once again, thank you for having me here. It's an honor to be with both. Vector is a boutique international logistics company. We do everything that has to do with shipping and supply chain, from ocean, air, truck, warehousing. We have presence in the US, Mexico, Chile, and Peru. And the best way to contact me is probably by LinkedIn. If you look for my name, Enrique Alvarez, and Vector Global Logistics on LinkedIn, I think that's probably the easiest way to finding me.
Well said. Or as the international man of mystery, because you're at events around the globe, keynoting, shaking hands, making it happen. I bet you'll see Enrique in your neck of the world soon. I can only imagine Mary Kate and Enrique's frequent flyer miles. I bet he's got like 1 billion of them, huh?
Yeah, you got to add them up. We got to have a show where we follow Enrique, I think.
Yes. There's got to be an AI play for that, Enrique. Hey, really quick, I want to recognize a few other folks here. Hey, Jeremy, that's okay. We'll get your video soon. We'll share that. So thanks for helping us out here. Gary, congratulations to all the people, he says, who make this supply chain work so seamlessly and creating miracles every day across the world. Well done, everyone from this Brit stationed in Toronto, Canada. Thank you, Gary.
Cool.
And so well said there. Let's see here. Greg Wells, congratulations from the Wells Brothers team on Supply Chain Day. Your dedication and hard work keep the gears turning smoothly, ensuring goods reach where they're needed. Here's to the unsung heroes of logistics. Well said, man. Love the passion. Love the passion. All right. So this is what we're going to do next, Mary Kate and Enrique. Our team worked hard to get out and get submissions from across the industry. We got some submitted, and then we went out and hunting for some other things. And we got some of those favorite snapshots from across global supply chain here. And I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to walk through these a little bit here. I love celebrating with teams out in plants and factories and warehouses everywhere, right? This is Linda Rendell, the CEO of the Clorox company, celebrating a big milestone with one of their factory teams. Big thanks to Rick McDonald and Beverly over there, because here's another one from the Clorox team. This is a Clorox plant getting together down in Mexico, celebrating a big win. And then a little closer to home, we got Wintech Inc., a manufacturing company based in Metro Atlanta. Our dear friend and co-host Allison Giddens and the team was celebrating 25 years. Mary Kate and Enrique, 25 years of manufacturing. That's like 75 years in any other sector. Would y'all agree?
Yeah, that's at least what 1 million problems solved every single day.
No kidding. No kidding. Let's see here. Oh, Enrique, with a bunch of passionate.
Recognize some of those faces, yes.
I hope you do. Freight forwarders and some other professionals from Vector Global Logistics making it happen. Now, here's an interesting story. This is Cleve Francis. I think I said that right. Cleve, a UPS driver, over 55 years of driving excellence under his belt.
Wow.
How about that? That is remarkable. Yes, round of applause. Mary Kate, I mean, 55 years of driving the highways and byways, whether it's in Atlanta or elsewhere.
Right.
I mean, these are the people that make it happen every day, huh?
Exactly. They're the people that connect our world, as we said.
Absolutely.
And someone was saying, right, that this is for unsung heroes, and that's just a picture of one of them. Many people like that, but we owe them so much, and I think it's just amazing that we can celebrate with them in this Supply Chain Day.
Well said. Now here is LA from Southeastern Freight. Now, Enrique, this looks familiar because on the day at King Plow, where our studio is whenever we're doing in-person content in Atlanta, they were filming that day. Hollywood supply chain was everywhere. You had 1,000 different trucks. We had a loading dock that LA had to squeeze into. And Enrique, I'm going to tell you, I sat there and watched in awe. He could do it with his eyes shut. It was perfect. He didn't have to back forward and back. Nope. All in one perfect take, Enrique. That is awesome in my book. All right. How about this? We got a mix of volunteers and warehouse professionals from our friends at Books for Africa. Now, Mary Kate and Enrique, y'all may be familiar. Books for Africa is a powerful nonprofit, shipped more than 60 million books to all 55 countries on the African continent since 1988. Folks, you can learn more at booksforafrica.org. Of course, our warehousing pros are incredibly important. Here's some more getting ready to make it happen at Books for Africa. And then one last thing. And folks, we could spend 3 hours, 30 hours doing this and still be scratching the tip of a global holistic supply chain. But we've been amplifying the voice of reverse logistics and returns management for years via our friends Tony Shirota and the Reverse Logistics Association. These professionals here, I believe, are with DB Schenker, and I think they're processing returned smart devices, right? Remanufacturing and getting them back out into the re-economy. Now, that space is only going to get more important in the years ahead. Incredible professionals across the reverse space. It doesn't get enough attention. Yeah. So, Mary Kate, I don't know about y'all, but I'm a very visual learner, right? And just seeing all those snapshots, I wish we had time for a million others. It just brings to mind just all the incredible work that the people across global supply chain do every single day. Huh?
Yeah, and I think to Enrique's point, when he opened up and talked about how this is teams and partnerships, those pictures really painted that whole picture, right? Of all these teams that work together every single day. So I love to see those and see teams having fun and celebrating too.
Agreed. Agreed. Hey, really quick aside, Enrique, a little curveball before we get into some of the trends shaping our industry. What's one of the coolest ways that you and the Vector team have celebrated some of y'all's big accomplishments? I know y'all been throwing axes, drink a few adult beverages. What's one of your favorite things to do, Enrique, with the team?
Well, we like experiences. We like to try new things. We once went to curling here in Atlanta, and for all
Oh,
those, I didn't know what curling was. It's the little brooms, and you
yeah.
have little rocks, and you size, and it's a lot of fun. The point is, it's just part of the celebration, right? And it's part of what we're celebrating here today with everyone around the world. And we just hope that next year people continue to send us as many pictures as they did to you, Scott, this time. And it's a big family. That's the
Mhm.
way I perceive supply chain and the way that I see logistics. And given all the hours and hours that the drivers and warehouse people and everyone dedicates to this industry for making our lives better, it's just a very little thing we can do in return to just make sure that they're welcomed and celebrated.
Well
Yeah.
said. And folks, we're gonna make sure we're gonna touch on next year, and between now and next year, April 29th, 2025. It's hard even to say that. Coming up, what you can do, because we're going to take this to new heights and celebrating all the professionals. Hey, really quick, Mary Kate, before we start talking trends,
Yep.
a couple comments here. I'm going to try to get to some of them. Spurthy, happy Supply Chain Day. So excited to celebrate it with the Supply Chain Now team. Hey, we're glad you're here. Let us know where you're tuned in from there via LinkedIn. Kevin Parkerson, happy Supply Chain Day from Bentonville, Arkansas. Every link in the supply chain matters. Kevin, well said there. Jake was talking about our friend Cleve. That's a true road warrior. Man, 55 years. Can you imagine the stories he's
Yeah.
got from taking it across the road? Farzad, happy National Supply Chain Day from Iran. Great to see you here via LinkedIn. And finally, Gino Pledger, a rock and roll drummer and supply chain practitioner and teacher from North Alabama. Great to see you, Gino. Looking forward to reconnecting. Happy Supply Chain Day to you. Okay, Mary Kate, we're rocking and rolling right along.
Yep.
Let's dive in to trends, huh?
Yeah, trends. So this will be fun. Please reply in the comments trends you're seeing too, because obviously we can't cover every single trend, but we'll kick off with Enrique to cover your top 1 to 2 trends that you're seeing in supply chain.
Well, thinking about this before the show, I actually came up with a lot because this is a fast-growing industry, fast-growing in every single aspects of supply chain. But AI is one of the ones that we'll continue to see, not only making predictions, managing inventories, production schedules, but just in general, AI will be applied to every single step of the supply chain. Some others, and one that I particularly like is sustainability. I start to see how companies are moving quickly into sustainability and how important that will be. And that's something very exciting to me personally. And as we continue to manage extreme weather patterns and ESG regulations and trends, that should be another good one. But there's really plenty, right? Cybersecurity, last mile as a service, tech,
Yeah.
electric vehicles, you name it. It's an exciting industry to be a part of, and it's just going to continue to grow quicker and quicker every year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally agree. Like you said, it's changing every year, every day, every month. You have to keep on top of all these new trends and new technologies. Scott, how about your thoughts?
I'm going to steal this one thought here from Will Quinn. Nearshoring,
Yeah.
yes, as Enrique, you and I and Mary Kate have talked about what's going on in Mexico right now, just as one example of nearshoring. It is a rock and roll economy and market down there from all the nearshoring and reshoring opportunities. So, great, well said there. I'm going to talk about cybersecurity. Is one of the two I want to mention because, as Enrique mentioned, this technology revolution that we're in, AI and plenty otherwise, machine learning is still making greater impact. Don't sleep on blockchain. Blockchain's back. In fact, according to some research, it is the second biggest technology that executives are looking to invest in through 2024. But cybersecurity attacks, unfortunately, are going to continue to multiply and become more complex, more diverse, and more impactful. IBM says that the average cost, get this, Enrique and Mary Kate. Enrique, I know you got your little black book there, so write this number in it when I share this, okay? IBM says the average cost of a data breach has grown to almost $4.5 million in 2023. Man. Now, Data Theorem reports that 91% of organizations were hit with a software supply chain attack over the last 12 months. I'm surprised that number is not 100% by now. And I bet it'll be 100% in the next 12 months. So obvious questions, Mary Kate and Enrique, that come to my mind. What is our supply chain, or what is our cybersecurity plan, right? Mm-hmm. And does it take into account your entire ecosystem, your cloud providers, all of your suppliers? Because as we all know, it's cliche now, but that weakest link, that's the one, right? That's the one. Really quickly, number two, one of the reasons beyond all the people that make up global supply chain, of course, that we're focusing on here today, the second biggest reason I think is so exciting right now to be in supply chains is ongoing technology revolution, right? But it's a must. It's required. Global supply chain leaders and teams must embrace new innovative technology to keep up and advance, right? We hear a lot about operational velocity, right? And just how much faster we've got to move to keep up with the demands from our customers, from our suppliers, from the whole ecosystem. All of that's common sense in many circles in global supply chain. But I love this. I love how Jen McKeon puts it, Mary Kate and Enrique. Y'all know our friend, senior supply chain leader at Walmart. They have this mantra they use: people-led and tech-powered. People-led, tech-powered. The human factor is what leads digital transformation. But for that to happen, Enrique and Mary Kate, business leaders must first figure out what business challenge we're trying to solve, right? And then select the right tool, be it technology or something else. And then, if it is technology, successful human adoption starts with understanding the why. What are we trying to do as a team? And of course, without adoption of any new process, certainly any new technology, what do we really have, Enrique and Mary Kate, right? So cybersecurity and a big bucket of technology stuff.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. We're both nodding our heads along, especially about adoption, right? I think that's critical, and you have to be realistic when you're building new technology and how it'll be adopted in the marketplace. So when I was thinking about trends, I'm going a little bit of a different direction to say one of the trends that I've seen and that, researched is that in venture capital investments, it's actually increasing when it comes to supply chain technology. So where we've seen a lot of other industries maybe pull back on investments, just, given the market, that's not the case with supply chain, right? The funding's actually increasing, which would allow me to think at least that it's outperforming other investments in other industries, which is just really interesting. And it feels probably to us like about time, that supply chain gets these investments, gets this attention, because we really understand the power of supply chain.
Yes. The power of supply chain, much more powerful than the power of Grayskull back in the 80s. For anyone that may have been watched the cartoons of the 80s, Enrique, He-Man, please tell me you were a big...
Yes, I'm not a huge fan, but I watched it for sure.
We watched a lot of He-Man, Mary Kate and Enrique in the Luton household. All right, so before we keep on driving here, because we're going to get into some of the, we just talked about some of the technology, and everyone knows the automation that's taking place across the globe, right? And there's a lot of concern about it replacing folks. I would argue that it's creating a lot more opportunities and a lot more jobs than it is eliminating. So stay tuned. And yeah, maybe I'm a bit optimistic there, but it's in my bones. It's in my DNA, Mary Kate and Enrique. Let's take a couple comments. Hey, this is Fred Tolbert, the one and only Fred Tolbert. Fred, he had a nickname. He appeared with us forever ago.
Fred is great.
Yes, Fred is wonderful people. And now he's turning on light bulbs there at UGA teaching classes. And Fred says, if you've eaten a meal, worn some clothes, or driven a car today, Thank an inventory planner for making the products available to you. Thank the warehousing and transportation pros for moving the products to your local store or delivery truck. Mary Kate, you are a rock star for your vision in starting National Supply Chain Day. Mary Kate, your response there?
That was almost poetic, I think. That was a really great way to sum it up and to bring it down to what you experience every day is connected to supply chain.
Yes, absolutely, Fred. Great to have you. And his nickname, who was, do you remember the Doc Holliday of Global Supply Chain? That was Fred Tolbert's nickname that Greg and I gave him a couple years ago. And Fred, it's been too long. We got to break bread soon. Alfredo says, congratulations to all the members of this community and a hug to all of us who battle day by day in the supply chain process. Alfredo, well said there. Well said. Let's see here. Jake says, while nearshoring is a physical infrastructure trend, let's not forget the technology integration task to create a streamlined supply chain planning process, integrating those new partners as co-manufacturers, co-packers, etc. Well said there, Jake. Enrique, any comment there on, he's calling out of course, the integration that's got to take place as we're building an ecosystem that can truly move mountains.
Yeah, there's no doubt that the world's getting smaller and smaller, despite what we see on the media sometimes. And yeah, it's going to be critical. And as you pointed out, Scott, I think that this is a big opportunity to create more jobs, despite what we also hear. The world's going to continue shrinking. So
absolutely. And Mary Kate, you agree with that?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Well said, Enrique.
All right. Speaking of CHAM from Delaware, great to see you via LinkedIn. CHAM, always enjoy your perspective as well. Let's see here. Now, speaking of some of these jobs and positions and professions that are all being created with the global supply chain tidal wave of innovation and change and a lot of exciting new things there. A variety of really cool new jobs and career opportunities that, Enrique, you just mentioned. They're getting made, created, born left and right. And as we talked about, there's lots of folks talking about jobs being eliminated. But man, I'm of the ilk, Mary Kate and Enrique, that if you raise your hand and volunteer and you're willing to learn something new every day and you're willing to take on new responsibility and learn new forward-looking technology, right? And willing to deal with change, man, doors of opportunity. Is it doors or windows? Doors or windows of opportunity? Both.
At this point.
Yeah.
They're going to be flung open left and right. So I want to start with this, Mary Kate. When we talk about all these new jobs, what is one cool newer job that's on your radar, Mary Kate?
So this one's interesting because, I was thinking about high level at first, but then to go for an actual example I saw, weirdly at Chicago Department of Streets and Sanitation, there was a really cool new job posted that spoke. It's basically at the intersection of city planning, supply chain, and sustainability. So think optimal route planning, how to service citizens better and more efficiently, and how to do that all sustainably. And it's calling for this kind of supply chain experience background, which made me think about, how cool that city planning is also now supply chain too. So that one really stuck out to me as something I hadn't thought about before.
Yes. And folks, if you're out there and not in global supply chain and you need to plan anything, is there any greater expertise to tap into than the supply chain world, right?
Good point.
Enrique, first respond to that role Mary Kate was talking about, that kind of intersection of city planning and supply chain. And then what's one cool job that you've got on your radar that we're seeing more and more of here lately?
Yeah, well, first, city planning is going to be key, especially as, again, technology continues to expand. And sustainability is some of the things that Mary Kate mentioned too. And I think sustainability is something that it's going to be incredibly important as in the future. Before answering the question with my, I guess, cool job to the future, I read, and depending on the different companies that are doing this research, there's 20 to 30% employment growth projected for the next 6 years. So that's a huge number considering all the people that already work in supply chain. And so it is an optimistic outlook out there, as you said, Scott. It's just a matter of making sure that you keep your mind open to all those new possibilities. With that said, and I have a bunch, there's really a lot of different ones, but the one that I would personally apply to, bionic operators. Have you guys watched all these robots that you put like all these bionic implants and you can lift all these massive crates?
Like an exoskeleton?
Yes, just like that. Yes.
I wish I had one in high school.
That could be a cool one.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is.
I'm sorry, Mary Kate, go ahead.
No, I've seen some of those videos. Very cool.
Yes. You can lift you put on these exoskeletons, lift cars, make things happen. You're like a super pro at that point.
All the drones also kind of exciting and cool as well. Disruptor directors. There's going to be so many different things out there.
Yes.
It'll be fun to be a supply chain professional.
Right. Yeah. Well, and Enrique, I was kind of kidding a little bit with the superhero component of the exoskeleton opportunities, but more kidding aside, safety and eliminating repetitive injuries and just changing the day in and day out of that component of our workforce and making it easier for them to be successful, safer to be successful, and to be more productive. So I love that. Great call out, Enrique. All right. I guess it's my time to share, huh?
You're up.
I am up. So I'm going to revert back to, I saw something the other day. LinkedIn published some research, I think it was back in January, that showed what it considered to be, and gosh, how many other groups could have the position of LinkedIn? I mean, that really put their finger on the pulse of this.
Yeah.
So what they identified as some of the fastest growing roles, at least in the U.S., a few of those were Chief Growth Officer, which is probably, it sounds like an older role that they just kind of retweaked the title, Sustainability Analyst, Vice President, and Chiefs Presidents of Diversity and Inclusion. So that's great to see. Mm-hmm. AI Engineer, which I think you mentioned that, Enrique, and shouldn't surprise anybody. But one I've seen more and more that I think we will continue to see more and more, Chief Data Officer. A C-suite role that isn't just focused on the successful capture and utilization of enterprise data. That's only part of it, but also focused on establishing the risk management approach, overall governance. That's not a bad word, despite how some parties attempt at making it a bad word due to their failure, perhaps, to govern effectively. But I'll leave that for another conversation. Risk management, governance, capture, utilization, all of that. I think we're going to see a lot more formal senior leadership data roles in the future for global supply chain. Y'all agree, disagree? Mary Kate, what you think?
Yeah, we always talk about, especially that data piece, right? That just being crucial to making any updates, improvements in supply chain. So I'm not surprised to hear that.
Yep. Enrique?
Yeah, I feel like we're just scratching the surface here, right? Because you also can dive into the packaging world, and then you have all this amazing new materials that they're testing and trying, and carbon CO2 experts, maybe, right? Someone that makes sure that you not only count how many CO2 you're utilizing, but doing something about it as well. So
well said. Well said. I think we are just scratching the surface because it's too much. Global supply chain, even on today being National Supply Chain Day, it is just too much to cover it all in an hour. It's too much to cover it all in a day, in a week. I mean, we'd have to eliminate sleep. We might make some progress in a year. I mean, it's just that's where we are. It's really exciting. Let's see what other folks are saying. Will, moving your ERP and other solutions to the cloud is a great first step to adding security, redundancy, and scalability. This also moves your data to a data lake to take advantage of AI and machine learning. Good stuff there, Will. Jake says one of the trends emerging is the upskilling of the workforce due to tech requirements, a reshaping of the old school apprentice programs. Yeah, Jake, it's a great call out. I was just reading, I think PetSmart was a company that was bringing folks in, putting them into a rotational program, and it was leading to a boost in their supply chain talent. So that's a great approach there. Let's see here. Alejandra says happy National Supply Chain Day at Plan It Together, advanced planning and scheduling. They help businesses achieve greater agility and efficiency. Hey, that's great to see you there and great to have you here, Alejandra. Okay, so I'll try to make some more of these comments in here in just a minute, but I want to pulse y'all's ability to predict the future. Mary Kate, Enrique, are y'all game for that?
I'm in.
Are y'all game? We're live, so I guess you're.
Yeah, we have no choice. Yeah.
So, all right. So, Enrique, I want to start with you. Let's put our shades on. Talk about the bright future of what lies ahead. Take a minute and paint us a picture of where and what the future looks like for global supply chain. Where we're headed, Enrique?
Well, one of our people that are listening to us today mentioned nearshoring, and that's very important. But if we talked about earlier about the technology and some of the cool trends in our industry, and then we talk about some of the new job positions that are going to be created, so you put those two things together, and it really can go in many different ways, and I think it will go in many different ways at the same time. It will go technology and AI on one end, robotics, machine learning, cybersecurity. So I feel like it's just pushing the technological boundaries across the different careers and services that supply chain professionals provide right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well said, Enrique. And Mary Kate, you're going to get a little different question here. Feel free to comment on that bold path ahead for the industry. And Mary Kate, I'd welcome any comments you have there. But in particular, what lies ahead for National Supply Chain Day? And of course, how can folks plug in and make sure they know how to participate in the months ahead? Your thoughts, Mary Kate?
Yeah, National Supply Chain Day, like we said in the beginning, is really a celebration of the people in supply chain, and really with this focus and this eye towards how can we shape the future of supply chain, right? And we can only do that through the participation of everybody. And so, in the future, next year, we might see, hey, people hosting Supply Chain Day events on this day and maybe tuning in live, or, maybe doing a tour with students, or connecting with us on different programs that we've got set up too. So you can expect to see, I would say, more events, more ways for you to participate. But my, I guess, call to action would be, we really want ideas from you on how to celebrate this day. And you can connect with us. The easiest way is supplychainnow.com/NSCD, National Supply Chain Day. And you can follow us on all of our social there, reach out on social, but we're shaping National Supply Chain Day, and so we're open to any and all ideas from this community.
Well said, Mary Kate. And Catherine and Amanda, first off, thanks for what you do behind the scenes, the power of production, incredible team. But if you could put on the crawler, I think that's what it's called, at the bottom, if y'all would drop that URL that Mary Kate just mentioned and make sure folks know exactly the central repository, the central landing page, so folks can plug in. And like Mary Kate said, give us your ideas. Enrique, you ever hear the phrase, we are, how's it go? Flying the plane while building it. You ever hear that, Enrique?
Flying the plane while building it.
Yeah.
Sounds like something Boeing would say. No, go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say that it's a little bit too close to home lately.
Yes. Well, you know what, Mary Kate and Enrique, that's a little bit here, right? We know the overarching objective and part of the vision that Mary Kate laid out is we want to lift up an entire industry, especially recognizing, celebrating the people, right? And I love some of those ideas you mentioned, having gatherings or meetups across the globe.
Yeah.
How can we bring people into our facilities, really create more awareness, hands-on awareness for folks, students, you name it. Who knows? We might be out in schools, right? Really helping light bulbs go off. No telling, but we'd welcome your ideas and what y'all want to see out there. All right. See, ask and they shall deliver.
Yeah,
just like supply chain. They dropped that URL in the on the crawler there. All right. A couple quick comments here before we move on here. Let's see here. So Tyrone says it is windows of opportunity, not doors, Enrique and Mary Kate. So I'm not trying to alienate any of our construction folks out there. Let's see here. Gino says integration is going to happen. Sorry, I don't mean to cover you up there, Enrique. Gino says integration is going to happen. No turning back now. In my old age, Gino says, I witnessed new tech come and go, but this is advanced technology and change is still change. Good stuff there. Tyrone says, I'm hoping for increased reverse logistics to minimize landfill impacts. Asset recapture is too often lost due to no reverse logistics. That's an excellent comment, Tyrone. Mary Kate, Enrique, one of the trends I should have mentioned, especially being a big proponent for the reverse logistics space and our friends there, is the re-economy. I'm not sure what the latest number is. I think the last time that I shared anything kind of dove into this re-economy. I think remanufactured, recycled, reworn, all that stuff. It was like $60 billion was the size of the re-economy. Have y'all heard anything? Have y'all been tracking this at all? Do you lean into the re-economy? Do y'all buy remanufactured stuff, Mary Kate?
I mean, I just went straight to I buy and rent used clothes. So there's a lot of clothes that you can rent for a period of time and reuse them. And it makes so much more sense than buying a dress for something you wear to a wedding one time. Small example, but I think a lot of people are doing that now.
Well, and if small example, but if millions of people do that and take advantage of the opportunity, man, that is powerful. Enrique, this re-economy.
Well, I think that's more than a trend, right? And I see it in my children. I mean, maybe we're not like the right generation to materialize this fully, but it's very clear to me, and I think for everyone else out there, that new generations are really going to just buy products from companies that are embracing this re-concept and sustainability and good people and good companies. So, there's no doubt about it.
Yes. No doubt about it. Now, Seaham, I'm going off on different tangent here. She says she worries a lot about how people rate or interpret supply chain. It's a serious and difficult field requiring lots of math and stats. Now, Seaham, I don't disagree. Somehow, I don't know how they let me into global supply chain, given my awful math and statistics skill sets. But kidding aside, Mary Kate, what if you had? Put you on the spot. If you had one way to dispel any kind of misconception about global supply chain, if you were talking to a class of fifth graders, right? What's one thing that you might share, Mary Kate?
I think the supply chain industry is for anyone who likes to solve problems. I think that's a really, there's so many different ways you can go with that, but it's for anyone who likes to solve problems.
Yes, well said. I think at its very core, I might add planning and solve problems at its very core. But well said. Enrique, what would you add?
Well, I love the international component to it. So just if you like to kind of meet people from all over the world, kind of sharing same culture and values and supply chain, I think that's an amazing industry. That's the one thing that I really cherish the most. Agreed.
And again, the human factor is not going anywhere. It'll be reimagined in many ways, but again, human-led, tech-powered. So I probably owe Jen McKeon and our friends at Walmart some rights or some licenses for their mantra there. But I really enjoy that take. Malenga, happy National Supply Chain Day. He's glad to be part of the program from Lusaka, Zambia, Southern Africa. Great to have you here, Malenga. Let's see here. Now, Enrique, I'm going to put you on the spot perhaps with Pat Plonsky's question. I'm going to read it to you. And this might be something you want to take offline with Pat. We'll do this. But hey, folks, we want to be here and bring all of your input as much as we can fit into this hour. Pat is asking about any thoughts about recent trends in consolidating warehousing in one key location with a large warehouse versus multiple smaller warehousing in different locations. This seems to be an ongoing transition in strategies. Enrique, do you want to grab Pat a beer and talk after the session, or is there something that comes to mind really quick to address this question?
Well, both, because Pat is the person you want to grab a beer with. He's an interesting person. But No, I think it really depends on the geography. Some countries you see a little bit more of what Pat is describing, and some others you see a little bit more of the approach of stored and some of the other big warehouse companies are doing, right? So
Yep.
it's just a matter of being more efficient, being closer to your clients, reducing all those last mile distribution costs, and being efficient, and that can look very, very differently depending on what industry you're in, and then also what geographical location you are.
Right.
Yes. Really quick, Mary Kate, I'll get you to comment here, but Pat Plonsky, wonderful leader, wonderful person. And if you're ever in Minneapolis, make sure you get him to take you to the Monte Carlo Steakhouse. It is a legend up in that neck of the woods, and enjoyed our conversation and the steak there. Mary Kate, anything to add? Warehousing, one thing that Enrique touched on, getting closer to customers. Of course, I've really found it an interesting study with these urban fulfillment centers, and just not only the automation and the technology, but the predictive analytics that allows effective positioning and placement of product. But your thoughts, Mary Kate? Anything on Pat's question? Or
No, I think it's one of those things where you need a lot of data to make the decisions around what's the best strategy for you, right? Because I don't think, like Enrique said, it's there's a lot of factors that depend on what might be the best for you.
Yes. Yes. Let's see here. Jake says, "Hey, Pat, we've seen that this depends upon the vertical in question,
Mhm.
and importantly, the reaction time to either the consumer or patient, etc., being served." Good stuff there. Let's see here. And Jake's also making a prediction. I would suggest you will see citizen developers morph into place, replacing traditional planner roles, leveraging with a new role that leverages AI to jumpstart both interventions at the execution level, but also plan out probabilities and scenarios of things expected. That's why he's the John Wayne of global
Mhm.
supply chain, Mary Kate and Enrique. Let's see here. Adrian's making a prediction: more mergers and
Mm.
acquisitions at the same time, more spinoffs. Mary Kate, you've got your finger on the pulse of the M&A and the VC world. Would you agree with Adrian's prediction there?
Yeah, I think as people are realizing, they can be connected more and more and share inventory, share, different things like that. I think merger and acquisitions will continue to be on the rise.
Yes. And Enrique, you're not foreign to that space. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. A lot of consolidation still available. A lot of really smaller, efficient, nice companies out there. So yeah, like that makes sense.
All right. Lots more comments here. I'm going to try to get a couple more before we start to wrap. I hate to even say that. Mary Kate Love and Enrique Alvarez on National Supply Chain Day. Let's see. Malanga says the future of supply chains is dynamic and strategic adaptation is essential.
Hmm.
Well said. Now that's almost poetic, Malanga. Just direct to the point, succinct. Let's see here. Ham's like, hey, that's where the math and stats comes
Yeah.
in, the optimization, that problem solving that you were talking about earlier. All right, Tyrone's picking up on the steakhouse reference. Let's not forget supply chain management is no longer the optional appetizer. It's the must-have entree, table stakes, as he said there. Oh, Tyrone, I love that. One more thing here. Jose says, while in the topic of problem solving, I'm back to Mary Kate there. Any companies working on technologies to streamline the manufacturing and exporting process between the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. I think Jose is looking for a connection, a resource there. That's what we're here for, Mary Kate and Enrique, right?
Exactly.
So y'all, if y'all can help out Jose, y'all do that, please. All right. So Mary Kate and Enrique, our time has gone past way too fast. I cannot wait to see where we take this. I cannot wait. I really appreciate your vision, Mary Kate, and your passion for this global industry that powers everything, and we all benefit. Because while the three of us are practitioners, the three of us are consumers, just like everyone else.
Yeah.
We all benefit from the same industry we serve in. That's a bit circular.
Yeah.
Uh, so I want to ask y'all one thing before we leave. And that's one of your favorite key takeaways from this conversation, whether it's something we all said here, the comments mentioned. If you want to throw in one more prediction, I'm going to give both of y'all a chance to weigh in one more time before I close this out here today on National Supply Chain Day, April 29th, every year. Big thanks, of course, to Enrique and the Vector Global Logistics team for helping to make it happen. Our inaugural sponsor, big time supporter. So, Mary Kate, actually, no, we're going to Enrique first. Mary Kate, you're no offense, Enrique, but Mary Kate,
She's close
founder,
enough.
she's a
I'm
cleanup
close.
hitter. She's a cleanup hitter.
There we
So,
go.
Enrique, if you had to leave one thing with folks out there, whether it's a key takeaway, a challenge, a prediction, you name it, what would that one thing be, Enrique?
So for me, it will be a big thank you to everyone working in this industry. Again, we couldn't really do what we do in the world, no matter what you do, actually, without supply chain. So big thank you. Happy supply chain day. And yeah,
Well
keep
said.
it up. We need every single professional in this industry to keep doing what they're doing. So thank you.
That's right. And I think you almost created a new national day, which we're going to get on the calendar soon. National Supply Chain Now Day. That will might pop up down.
That's farther down the road.
Yeah.
But Enrique, I love that simple way of wrapping. Showing gratitude is so powerful, and no one does it enough. Mary Kate, what about you? What you want to challenge folks with, or make sure they keep front and center? One final thought you want to leave with folks out here.
I think to build on what Enrique said, I would say thinking about the future of supply chain, and we know that we need top tier talent to choose supply chain as the industry they want to spend their career in. So, maybe we can all mentor 1 to 2 people or look for those opportunities to bring new, younger people earlier in their career, students into the fold for supply chain. I think that's extremely important. And I know Fred is doing that, and I know other people are doing that too.
Yes.
And continue to invest in supply chain. I have to put that in there because we are seeing a lot of investments happen in supply chain, and VCs like Venture 53 that are focused on transportation and logistics. Those are popping up everywhere, and I think that's an extremely important call to action: is keep investing in supply chain.
That's right, especially the people of supply chain, right, Enrique and Mary Kate? We've got to invest in our people, continue to find ways of not only creating more fulfilling roles and careers, but helping them find the new skill sets they're looking to gain, right? Very, very powerful. All right. And by the way, Venture 53, shout out. I think we'll be with the team there in Atlanta a couple months here. So look for key takeaways and great discussions to be had there. All right. I'm going to add just a couple here, Mary Kate and Enrique. Enrique, how many pages in your so folks, if you don't know Enrique Alvarez, or if you do know him, he's got a black top secret book where he captures all the market intel. I'm telling you, you could sell it on Amazon and make billions of dollars that way. But Enrique, how many pages did you fill up here today?
I had a couple. Really good notes, great comments from the audience.
Wonderful. Yeah, we had a lot we couldn't get to here today.
Yeah.
All right, folks. A couple things I want to wrap on as we wrap up. Just the live stream, right? Just the live stream on National Supply Chain Day. Really, while we had to pick a date, Mary Kate and Enrique, National Supply Chain Day can be truly celebrated year-round and wherever across the globe, right? Really, it is a global industry. It will always be a global industry, and it's really important mindset. Keep it going. Make it sustainable. Make it sustaining and durable. But what can you do today, or this week, or this year even? Well, I would say, Mary Kate and Enrique, picking up on what kind of themes both of y'all have shared. Hey, show some gratitude. Show some gratitude to all the supply chain professionals that you come across. All of us get packages all the time, right? By the way, minimize those returns. Do your homework, right? Let's not add to the tidal wave of returns headed to oftentimes, unfortunately, to landfills everywhere. So do your homework, but show gratitude. Hey, Enrique and Mary Kate, do things ever go wrong as a consumer with your orders or your deliveries or just stuff you want and look for? Of course they do, right?
Yeah.
Enrique showed hesitation. Do you have always perfect orders all the time, Enrique?
No, not at all. There's some issues from time to time, for sure.
Of course, right? People aren't perfect. And of course, as we've established here today, people power global supply chain. So when things inevitably go wrong, Mary Kate, how about folks showing some empathy? How about that? right?
Yeah.
All right. So show some gratitude, show some empathy, and lastly, buckle up, folks. We got a lot more to come in the months ahead as we build out new exciting programming for National Supply Chain Day. Once again, thanks to everybody for being here. But thanks to Mary Kate Love, your leadership, your passion, your vision. I'm honored to collaborate with you every day, Mary Kate.
Thank you both. This was super fun.
Completely agree. And big thanks to Enrique Alvarez, the whole team over at Vector Global Logistics, not just for their sponsorship and support, but for truly making the world a little better place every single day. And what I mean by that, y'all should see the great and the endless nonprofit and good works they do beyond the great business. So y'all check it out. As I've said this before, Enrique and Mary Kate, when I first met Enrique, you know, the second sentence out of his mouth, Mary Kate, was, I'm going to change the world. We're going to change the world. We're going to change the world. And I kind of like, you know, I hear that a lot. But in the years since, I mean, I swear Enrique jumps out of bed every day to figure out how to make the world a better place. Enrique, high praise, but it comes from a very genuine place. And I'm honored to collaborate with you every day as well.
Thank you so much. And we all are in an industry where changing the world is a very realistic thing, and most people do it every day. So thank you so much. It's great to be here with you and Mary Kate. And again, congratulations to everyone out there working hard to get things done.
That's right. Every day. Folks, thanks for being here today. More importantly, thank you for all you, just like Enrique was saying, you stole my line, Enrique. Thanks for all that you do to make things happen across the globe, solving those problems Mary Kate touched on, planning, proactively, reactively, you know, putting out fires, moving mountains, changing how business is done. Man, that's the human factor powering all of that. So really appreciate that. And finally, with all of that said, on behalf of the entire team here at Supply Chain Now, thanks for being here, first off, for National Supply Chain Day. But more importantly, hey, do good, give forward, be the change that's needed. And we'll see you next time right back here on Supply Chain Now. Happy National Supply Chain Day, all.